Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about collaboration in music and creativity, of course, because this channel is always about creativity, as you know. And if you know a little bit about my work, you know how much I value the importance of collaborating with others. If you collaborate with someone, you're expanding your skills, and of course the ideas that are going to emerge from two brains are always more powerful than one. It doesn't mean that working alone is bad, but sometimes if you want to get out of your comfort zone, if you want to find a way to do things that you didn't know you could do, it's good to reach out to someone, and you learn a lot that way. And if you think about the history of technology in music, in the 90s, we really opened up possibilities when music came to computers, and computers were allowing to make it easier for musicians to do more things on their own. And for the longest time, like, some of the tools that came out were about facilitating everything, where you could be doing music, everything, and become a one-man band. The thing is, that's great, and for 20-30 years we really perfected those tools, and now the tools that we get mostly now, softwares and hardware, are really making things simpler for doing really complex things. But one thing that has always been left aside was collaboration. Collaboration has always been a little bit on the side card. And I hope you enjoyed this exchange between Patrick and I, where we're going to be talking about dub techno, something we both love. And we know that some people out there also love that genre, so we give some tips and tools of what we love. Do you want to start like a sort of synth, like a basic synth on your side? Maybe just like make like a tone or a pad, and explain how you work it out. And then what I'm going to do is, once you can make like a 2-bar pad and then you modulate it, you can send it my way. And then I can explain you some of the stuff that I do on my side.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, so I guess I'll just like talk through it because you can't really hear my computer's audio. So I'll just talk you through what I'm doing, and you'll have to trust it's good until I can send it to you.
Yeah, I know, but I know it's going to be good. So I'm gonna try to set up my camera in the meantime. So I'll let you explain.
Okay, wonderful. So I just took oh, I'm gonna take timeless off. I just took a chord MIDI device here. I'm just gonna do a simple minor chord. Then I'll go into Cypher. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to look for, like, turn the oscillator into an interesting wave shape. Give me something harmonically rich and nice. So let's see. See, what I like about this thing is, like, there's 3 oscillators, and then they can all, like, FM and ring mod and wave mod each other, and then when you get all 3 of them kind of adding modulation onto each other, then you start getting like feedback loops of modulation to start making wave shapes. And it just sounds good. Noise level up because I like it noisy. Gonna make it a little more plucky. Let's do this. Add a little filter envelope. So it's envelope 1 right here. Gonna add some attack. So right now it's going into this filter. I can choose which filter it goes into, 1 or 2. So it's this one. Gonna change it to these are all different filter types, and this one, the resonance just sounds nicer. And then right here I can choose how the filters are routed into each other. So I'm going to make filter 1 go into filter 2, and then I'm going to make second filter a comb filter. Add a little drive. It's got some movement. It's nice. And here, let's put this note into the sequencer a little bit. Okay.
I like how like it's already sounding dubby and you're not doing that much.
Oh, you can hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I can.
Through my headphones or like
I don't know what I hear it from, but I hear something, and yeah, it sounds nice already.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna make it very, very dubby. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it pretty simple on the synth side, and then let's go into timeless.
Don't overdo it either. Just maybe no pitch modulation. Just keep it kind of like same tone.
Yep. Okay. Gonna turn that wet level down. I like my delays unsynced. I'm like really into that these days.
Yeah, like you like them like the left right different times.
Or like I'll just put the delay time in milliseconds instead of sync to the tempo of the track.
Yes.
And there's this like under the taps in timeless, there's like a randomized taps function, so it just like makes it makes the less predictable every time it repeats. Some of them might go louder, some of them might go less loud, and it creates randomization like that, which is cool. I haven't really seen that in any other delay. I also like that diffuse parameter, so it kind of turns it into a reverb. If you go all the way up, it's like fully a reverb, and then I like to just make it a little bit, put a little bit of that on there, and it just makes it smears it a little bit. And then usually what I do is I start getting into the automation, And I just look for tons of parameters to start moving around. So, let's see. The automation right here is unlinked to the clip length. And I like to keep them at really kind of like not perfect times, like not totally on the bar. And so that way they all start repeating and looping at different points, and there's like never one point where everything loops back exactly the same. So it just feels like it's constantly modulating and changing. Actually, you know what I've been really into doing a lot is just using weird convolutions and just turning it to complete wet.
Yeah.
And trying to use convolutions that aren't really reverbs, just to give the tone of something different. So here, I'll just do this now, and then on top of it, I'll add like another reverb to give it space. So like here, let's play around here. I'm just going to add one more plugin, and then I'm going to throw it into the Beat Connect for you there. Yeah. Shaper Box is also my favorite thing in the world. Right here, I'm just like playing with the, this is like filter modulation right here. Then I got time, which is what's created these kind of like repeated notes right here. Then we got volume automation, which I'm going to change this around a little bit. Okay, that sounds really good. I'm going to record this and throw this up to you, JP.
Great.
Oh, I'm just straight at 120 BPM, so I guess we'll just continue the track. Yeah,
that's good. What key are you in?
Just C minor.
C minor?
Nice and easy. Okay, now the fun of Beat Connect starts. So, Now I can grab any loop like the one I just made here. I'll throw it into Beat Connect. So now you have the loop I just threw on Beat Connect over there.
Yep.
Do you see it?
I do. Yes. It's a miracle. Okay. That's a good one. 34. Okay. Long one. Okay. So now I remember I can control and drag. So control, I guess it's option. Yeah, it works. So now perfect. It's different length once I brought it in Ableton. And Beat Connect, it says it's 34, but it's actually longer than that when I drop it in Ableton.
Let's see. On Ableton, it's 33 for me.
For me, it's like almost like 41.
So maybe you just try to squeeze it into 33.
Okay, yeah. It was because it was warped.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I had to warp and unwarp it, and now it's fine. Yeah, that's like a Ableton thing. It sounds super lush and nice.
It's already sounding fun.
Do you hear me work on it?
Nope.
No? Okay. So, I love what I hear, and it's going to be really fun to work with this. Do you have like any, like, I know you love the album that I did, Sun CBD. So I don't know if you add like a question or something.
Yeah, sure,
Like
man. What was your process for that? Did you have a particular template or anything that you ran off of, or were you just like blank slate for every track?
I mean, the whole creative process of that album, and that's kind of like how I want to work now, is I'm basically spending months doing tests and recording ideas. And for me, an album has to be about capturing a very special mindset or idea or emotion and a storyline, and I mean, this is for me. I don't know about others, but to really be able to do this properly, I need to be recording the album in the shortest time possible. So to be able to record something like that really quickly, I need months of preparation, because I want to have all the material on hand so that the day that I feel like it's going to be the day I'm going to record my album, I don't wake up in the morning and say I'm going to record my album. Like, I need to feel it, and then I'll sit there, and then in the afternoon I will record the album in a matter of a few hours. And it's just kind of really quick, and it's no mix down, it's just no editing, it's kind of just recorded live. And so to ask me like if there was like a template or something, there was no, like, it was just like one Ableton project where I had a lot of loops, ideas, textures, tools that I loaded, and then I just like take one idea and then we'll be working around that. So yeah, so that would be, it's kind of like a dull answer to what you said. But, like, one thing that is really recurrent on that album, for people that are asking or wondering, it's about, I mean, my approach to sound is to have all my channels really alive as much as possible. And to do that, I need modulators. And I have, in this section here, I have all sound design tools. And I have a lot. As you can see, I have tons. I have a lot of modulators. And I also have a bunch of different I don't know, like plugins that I like to modulate. So the 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 meaning of both is very useful. So for instance, I'm gonna load up this one here. It's called LFOO, and when I drop it, there's two ways sometimes that I approach modulation. Either I will have one channel in which I will have all my modulators, just like like in some MIDI channels we have a synth, audio channels we have different audio signal. I like to have one dedicated channel for modulation, and what will happen is this will be all the modulation for all the project, and that kind of helps in a way that it will kind of create like a breathing feeling, or what can I say, something where everything is just coming from the same source, so there's like this feeling of movement that unifies the whole project.
Huh. So you have like a preset like set of LFOs that modulate like whatever parameters, and then you set that up in each track, and then those modulators stay the same, but they modulate different parameters in every track. Is that kind of...
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool. I never thought of doing that.
Well, it came from the fact that, if you have like a modular rig, you won't have like 35 modulation, because for a long time all my channels on whenever I made a song, they all had a different LFO, and it was cool, but it was sometimes a little bit too much. So if you have one LFO that has like one speed and it modulates tons of stuff in the project itself, then it feels like something's breathing. It feels like something's unified. It kind of like, like if you work with a synth and there's one LFO on the synth, and then you can you use a matrix, and then you can apply that LFO at different grades to different things. So it's kind of the same thing. So in that spirit, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the LFO from Ableton. There's this guy, I think his name is Kentaro. It makes a bunch of really good modulators. One is called LFO Morph, which is kind of like the LFO on steroids. And the one that comes with Ableton is great, but sometimes I feel like it's just kind of lacking. So I loaded up these ones here that are different modulators that I love. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to map different things to it. But now I need to know what I'm going to be modulating. And sometimes, as simple as this may sound, the utility plugin from Ableton is a good way to start. So what I like to modulate is the utility unit in Ableton. I like to play sometimes with the width. And another thing that I love to modulate is the EQ. So when you modulate the EQ, you're modulating, of course, the amplitude, but at a specific frequency, and that can bring a lot of nice textures. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of like playing a little bit with what it could be sounding like, and then I'm gonna go get a modulator, and I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna I know you don't hear anything right now. I'm doing some stuff. I'm gonna do this as well. So the cool thing right now is that we can hear the modulation happening, And because it's the same source, it feels like it's breathing.
Very cool.
So one thing that I've learned from using the Zal mixer is modulating the frequency as well of an EQ point filter. So right now it's at 1.4 kilohertz, and I'm going to be modulating that frequency. And on the mixer, what I love is that you can control like the frequency of the swiping, and when it swipes, it just adds like a really nice kind of phasing effect that I love.
Yeah, I think people underestimate the power of using an EQ as an effect.
Yes. The simplest tools are sometimes the best to modulate. It's fun sometimes to use really complicated effects, reverbs, delays, and modulate them. But you know, like EQ compression and just like the tools that you have, like in Ableton, are the ones that are doing like sometimes the most dramatic things to it. And you know, like we want to do something that is very busy sometimes when we do modulation, but you have to kind of make the sum of multiple subtle things to get the most out of it. So what I'm saying is that you can have one thing that does a crazy effect, which is like kind of like the EDM approach. But sensitivity, for instance, is sometimes 16 parameters modulated at once, but all very subtly. And that brings a really nice kind of deep feeling to it. That's kind of what I want in music. I want something that just feels very puzzling. Mm-hmm. So as we see here, the EQ is modulated. There's one thing that is not modulated, which is the Q, which I also love to modulate. So I'm going to map this to the Q. And it makes like the modulation go like, you know, like it's going to be like, how can I say? It's going to add some resonance to certain frequencies. So I'm going to play it. But now we face a problem where this is a little bit too precise, and it's an LFO, so it follows a frequency, and there's not much happening. So I'm going to add a bit of jitter, and I'm going to be mapping. I'm going to use a second LFO here, this one, and I'm going to go to the rate. And now we're going to see like this is just making a very odd movement.
Yeah, I love that jitter and smoothing functions that they add to those. Really makes it more alive, comes alive.
Yes. The shaper is great as well. So people really overlook the shaper. But I find that the shaper in Ableton is very, very cool. So, for instance, I'm going to be using the shaper. I forgot if I can. Jitter. I love to modulate the jitter, for instance, with the shaper. It makes really weird, glitchy, kind of like it really breaks the smoothness. And now we can hear that you were talking about FM synthesis.
Yeah.
Now we have like frequency modulation on the modulation.
Hmm.
So it adds like this kind of like richness, noise richness to it. It's really nice.
Are you going into audio rates, or like what are you modulating right now?
I would say that I think I could be right now. No, it's not. Well, I can't test it, but I presume that this is audio rate. Yeah, because I'm looking at the look of the LFO now, and it looks like someone really high on acid trying to make like a kind of like a scribble, you know, like it's like it's really destroyed.
Trying to draw, but just can't do it.
Exactly. And now there's one thing that I love, which is the filter.
The auto filter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in SMP mode.
Mm.
And with the drive, like it sounds like very kind of like sounds really nice. It's like kind of dirty.
It's got a little more edge. I think those were modeled off of old samplers, probably MPCs or something.
Yeah, I remember them saying that. I'm just gonna scribble this a bit. Should add a bit of reverb. So I'm gonna pull out one of my favorite reverb that maybe you heard about. Have you heard about the Seventh Heaven?
No, who makes that one?
Oh, it's the closest emulation of the Brischetti reverb, the hardware one.
Bricasti?
Yeah, I never say it properly because
Yeah.
I'm French. But you know what I'm talking about, right?
I didn't know they had software versions of it.
It's not an official version of it, but
Okay.
it's as close as you can get from the owners of the hardware version. For people that don't know, this piece of hardware that I can't pronounce is known to be one of the best hardware reverb that exists. And this plugin here is very, very close to it. And I love to collect every possible reverb that exists. It's like one of my I'm bulimic for reverbs. I think it's my it's my my dub aficionado for it that makes it like that.
Very nice. Do you not feel the same way about delays? Or
Yes, of course.
yeah.
With
Have both.
the Valhalla delay is probably one of my favorites still.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, that one's very good. Very versatile.
Okay, I'm gonna record some stuff back in Beat Connect for you.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there. Okay.
I can see the green bar going by as it's recording it in.
Yeah. You cannot hear it yet, right?
No. If I play... No, I can't hear it. I guess till it's done.
It's coming, yeah. I messed up the beginning. I forgot that I have to kind of play it from Ableton first, I think. That part is, I get still confused with it, but you will have enough material, and now we can lay down some basses and kicks.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, let's listen. Here we go. Man, it sounds good.
It's lush, huh?
Oof. Oh yeah, so much movement.
But at the same time, I didn't overdo it. I kept it kind of subtle in a way that
Yeah,
you can still appreciate what's going on.
Still recognizably the same sound every time it repeats.
Yeah.
But it's changing and moving. It's
I think for today that will be enough. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I just wanted to wrap up this video with a few more words. What's important for me to share to you as information, as someone that did a lot of collaboration, especially during the pandemic. I did multiple ones that were the way for me to strive towards this whole challenge. So when I work with someone, usually what I want to do is I want to find someone that has a skill that I don't have, or does something that I really love, and I would love to learn that. And when you work with someone, it's not about you and the person. It's about finding what can be the result of your strength and the strength of the other. And it's really nice that we can do everything ourselves. It's really powerful and exciting when you can finish a project where you've done basically everything, and everyone is going to be really happy. But I'm going to tell you one thing. When you do something that is highly successful and you do it with someone else, you don't celebrate alone. You celebrate with someone else. And that usually feeds on the interest to create something even bigger next time. And that's one of the most powerful things about collaboration. And this is why, with technology giving us more tools to collaborate, we're going to be able to create more and more music that's going to be even an expansion of what we hope it to be. And I think even we're going to be using the technology for what it's supposed to be doing, instead of everyone doing their own thing. So I hope this was useful, and I hope to see you soon.